Hello guys, this is Sapphire Yamin with the mid-season finale of Dracula. It's, episode 6 titles of Monsters and Men. In this episode, the Browning decides to host a board meeting in the sunlight in an effort to expose Grayson, who he believes is the vampire that they're looking for, the ancient vampire they're looking for. Meanwhile, Lady Jane, she doesn't believe that Grayson is a vampire because she's like, I have proof he is not a vampire, and he's like, He's like, yeah, whatever. And that because you're sleeping with him does not mean he's a vampire. He's not a vampire. So, given the fact that he has this board meeting in the sunlight, Grace is like, I'm not gonna go. But then Renfield tells him, oh, you're gonna have to go. If you don't, you kind of forfeit your position. And Grayson's like, ugh. So he tells Van Helsing that he has to make the serum so he could go to this board meeting. But obviously, we know that the serum only works for a certain amount of time, and he cannot stay long. Goes, he's gonna be exposed for sure. So, Grayson and Van Helsing acquire a vital component for the wireless electricity technology and his sunlight drug. Lucy, given the fact that from the last episode she was during the waltz when everybody was dancing, when Dracula and Mina was dancing with each other, we see Lucy was fiending after. The way she was looking at Mina was more than just a friend looks at her friend. It was more of a lover's affection. So Lady Jane decides to expose this. So Lady Jane tells her that, what you're feeling is completely natural. Completely natural. Even though at the time frame it probably was not completely natural, because if it was, men wouldn't be going to secret freaking clubs to be, with to do what they feel is right. They wouldn't be like that. So she pretty much tells Lucy to tell Mina your true feeling because she feels the same way. She's just shy. So then later that night, Lucy is in the room with Mina and everything, and Mina's talking about her what stuff that she found at Van Helsing, because Van Helsing about to kill her because she found this blood, this sample of blood that has been dead for a while, but the cells were sort of still active. So she did some tests on it, and Van Helsing almost killed her, but she said that maybe she thought she saw what she saw because her mom died of cancer. So he's like, "Whoo!" I'm like, "Ooh, girl, that just saved your life." I'm just like, that just saved your life, girl. And so Van Helsing doesn't kill him. I'm pretty sure if he would have killed her though, Dracula would have had his head. Like, dude, don't you know how Grayson feels about Mina? Like, dude, are you stupid? So Lisa expresses her feelings toward Mina, saying, "I love you," and Mina replies, "Oh, I love you too, like a sister." Until Lucy goes to kiss her on the lips, and Mina's like, "Wait, what? Whoa, like, whoa, hold up! I don't roll like that, Lucy." And Lucy's like, "Yeah," and she's like, "Lucy's like, I love you," and Mina's like, "You love me?" Now, so and since Lucy is not professor, Mina thinks that every aspect of their friendship has pretty much been a ruse. And she tells Lucy to leave, and Lucy's is heartbroken. I'm like, oh, poor Lucy. I'm like, that and that Lady Jane, that's called manipulation right there. Knew no damn well the media would never feel that same way about that girl. So back to Grayson and Van Helsing and Renfield. They get the serum to work. So Grayson shows up to the board meeting, and all the people are shocked, like, "Oh my God, he's in the sunlight!" Oh, apparently, and Lady Jane just has to look on her face, like, "Told you he wasn't a vampire," and walks off because she's like in the corner somewhere. So then Grayson sits down and starts to discuss some stuff with Renfield. Pretty much keeping track of time, like, oh, because Renfield nerves are bad. You can tell they're bad because he keeps checking his pocket watch, like, okay, 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 okay. So then Renfield comes in after a couple of minutes and whispers in Grayson's ear. So it kind of looks like, it's not a setup, like, ooh, something's going on. So, it's just like, all of a sudden, something happened. So Grayson like, excuse me, I must go. I have another meeting to get to. So as he pins to leave, he started the serum was starting to wear off because he has to have like a little red mark on face. So the one dude stop him, and he doesn't. It's on his. Let me see. If I'm on the TV screen, it will be on his right. I think on the TV screen it will be his left cheek. that he has toward Winfield, but he doesn't have toward the board meeting, so they can't see that he's burning up. So the dude asks him a question. He's like, okay, well, we'll handle that next time. And so then Grayson leaves, and while he's in the carriage, they rushing to get him home because he is burnt. He is burnt the f up. Meanwhile, with Harker, he is kind of like threatened when he's about his contact. So he goes to this play and he sees the woman that gave him the information about the man who's sort of like a lord of war. If you ever seen a movie with I believe it's Nick who's in the movie? I can't remember who's in the movie, but it's a person who sells weaponry for both. Say you have a war, you have a person that's selling weapons for both sides of the party. Like say you have this person selling weapons to the Americans, and not only to the Americans but also to Al Qaeda. So that's a Lord of War, a person who sells to both sides of the party. So it's kind of like the person he exposed, and he goes to the person who leaked the information, says, and she sees that she's an actor, so he's like, oh my god, this one probably didn't lie to me and stuff, because he thinks, oh my god, she's an actor. So he then leaves, and later day after the play is over, we see Mr. Grayson, and she's like, I did everything you told me to. So only to find out that apparently she was working for Grayson. So then he kills her, and as he kills her, his son severely bad sunburns heal up and stuff. So I'm like, he done killed her. That sucks. And so that pretty much is all for that episode, unless I didn't forgot something. But whoo, that was an interesting episode. He got to touch. He got to see sunlight just for, even if it was a little bit. He got to feel the sun upon his skin at least one more time. And then Lucy, she has her heart broken because she's in love with Mina, and Mina thinks her whole friendship with her has been a ruse for Lucy to get close to her. So I'm like, oh damn, you talking about way to ruin a friendship, and what a way to get your heart broken. Like damn. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm. I'm sure how this gonna end up. And so Dracula will return in January on the 3rd. We have the first scene was greenlit for 10 episodes. So episode 7 is gonna be Servants of Two Masters, then Come to Die, Four Roses, and Let There Be Light. So I will see you guys next time in January for Dracula. So come and rate, subscribe, and I hope you guys have a beautiful holiday.